Raider Nation, what's going on? Today's mailbag presented by Panda Sups. If you guys are looking to get in the best shape of your life season, go to pandasups.com, use code Raiders for 30% off. So usually we only get 25% off with Panda, but because it's been a rough week, rough season, they're going to hook us up with 30% off. It's only going to be valid for this week, so please take advantage of the deal. Pandasups.com. First super chat coming in here on today's show is from Los. F my life, I've dropped $7,500 in the offseason on the Raiders-Niner game and regretting it right now. Hope I'm wrong. I'll say this. There are a few games that I don't give a shit about tanking. I don't care if the Raiders have 2 wins going into that 49ers game. I'm going to be screaming at the top of my lungs that they win that game because I can't lose to the 49ers. Let's go to Ira Jackson. Bought a big Raider flag to put it in front of my house, but they don't deserve it. It's sad. I still would want you to fly the flag, but maybe on the flag just put like fire McDaniels or sell the team mark. Let's go to George. We always get glass, heartless, gutless players. Adams proves what we do with elite talent. Every player turns into a joke when in silver and black. I don't really think Devontae Adams deserves any harm in this. The fact that he's still been able to put up the numbers that he has and how bad the offense has been, I'm not going to put that on Adams. There are other players, though, that got paid a lot of money. Darren Waller, you deserve some blame. Chandler Jones has got to be the biggest fraud that I've seen this entire offseason that we brought in. Let's go to the next one coming in here from Ira. Give me some Iron Maiden anytime it gets me moving. All right. I said NF some music and then some Iron Maiden. My dad probably would listen to Iron Maiden when he would work out back in the old days. What up, Javi? McDaniels will ruin any quarterback we draft. Everyone blames Carr, but he ain't dropping ball or running into each other on routes. D also given up plus 25 points. So the Raiders have given up over 20 points every single game this season, but Derek does deserve blame. Like, he does, y'all. He's not making the best reads. He's not making the best decisions. Hell, when you look at his completion percentage, there are opportunities out there that he's not seeing. Does he deserve blame? Yes. Is he the biggest problem, though? Absolutely not. I'll say this. I don't think that Derek Carr is the problem, but I also don't think that he is the solution that gets you over the hump. And over the hump in the NFL is playoffs, Super Bowls. That's just not going to happen with Derek Carr. Hasn't happened yet. So if you haven't already, join the Raiders Report family for free videos. We do mailbags as well to give you guys a voice and get up here on the show. Turn on those notifications. Hit that subscribe button, and even if the Raiders suck, I hope this is going to be a place for all of y'all to vent with me. Let's go to Raider Nation Unlimited. What up, bro? Featuring wasted talent. That's my guy right there. Nope, DC has to go. Brady as a bridge. Hendon Hooker in the second round. We'll get Anderson at 3. I mean, if you could tell me right now, let's say Bryce Young at number 2 and then another edge rusher at 33, I like the idea of taking Will Anderson as your first pick and then getting Hendon Hooker in the second round more than that. I saw my guy Scout on social media say Richardson, the quarterback from Florida. I'm actually not that big of a fan of him. I'll have to watch more tape on him. He just doesn't really do it for me. Anthony Richardson he just doesn't do it for me. Let's go to Steven. I'm not one to hate on Davis, but, yep. Everyone type PHUCK Mark Davis. I'm with, I hate being that guy because I hate being the complainer. I always try to bring a lot of joy into this world. That's what I love to do. But the fact that Mark Davis said that they're doing fantastic being 2-7, that's laughable. It's not only a middle finger to Raider Nation. I think it's a middle finger to Al as well. Let's go to Project 1337. What makes this season so sad is that we made the playoffs with less. You add more, and now we're somehow worse. When players aren't given 100%, that's a coaching issue because they played for Bisaccia. All of this is true. When your team motto is just win, baby, commitment to excellence, and you got a head coach that all he knows how to say at a press conference is, it is what it is. Then you got your quarterback who's bawling his eyes out. But Mark Davis thinks everything is fantastic. There is so much disconnect on this Raiders team, which makes it sad because considering of how much bullshit went on last year, and now there's even more of this bullshit on me, there's a lot of white dog shit going around. Let's go to Hell Raider. All right. Raiders could, to Brady, be on the Raiders next season. All right, Hell Raider. I think you got to put down the fireball, my bro. Are you asking me, could he be on the Raiders next season? I said this the other day on Locals, which I will confidently say up here again. I actually think that there is a greater chance that Tom Brady is the quarterback of the Raiders than Derek Carr. Is it a hot take? It might be. I just can't see a scenario where you bring in Derek Carr again next season. It just doesn't make sense to me. If I'm the Raiders, I make Derek Carr the scapegoat, whether he deserves it or not, and I go out and I get Tom Brady. I go out and get somebody like Jimmy Garoppolo who knows how to run this offense. I'm not saying that those guys are better than Carr right now in their careers, but I think that that's what McDaniels would do. And then he drafts a quarterback to learn behind one of those two players that he believes can play in a system. I don't know. We'll see. So what do you think about this? Interesting question. Would you ever welcome Tom Brady to the Raiders? Y for yes or N for no? Y for yes, N for no. Would you ever welcome Tom Brady to the Raiders? If you brought us a Super Bowl ring, I think you would almost have to, but it would be tough. Let's go to Andrew Summers. You're next up here on the Raiders Report. Not surprised Darren Waller gave up. You rather have a crap owner, management, but get the bag, or great owner, management, but money's low. For me, it's the second. To me, I hope that players always pick winning over the money, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to get upset at somebody for picking the bag. It's just more of, I would never give up on my brothers. I would never give up on my teammates. Did I ever play at the NFL? No, but the way that I handle Chat Sports and all of our employees here, these guys are my family, and I would never give up on them. So to that, I can't respect Waller. Hellcat, would you ever give up on any of your brothers out there on the battlefield? The answer to that is no. Hammerhouse, salute Mitch. Happy holidays, brother. Hammerhouse, salute to you, my guy. It's been a few months now since we ran into each other. How about this, Hammer? You super chat on my show. If you need a guest on your YouTube show this week, maybe next week, can we figure it out? We'll link up. I'll come on the show. We'll talk a little Raiders football. I'd be totally down. I'm not going to come on the show. It'd be weird. Now, if you guys, I don't know how I'm going to go with this. Today's show is presented by Panda Subs. I love Panda Subs a lot. You can go to pandasubs.com, use code Raiders for 30% off, and it's going to be site-wide. So anything that you see up on screen right now, you can get your hands on. So if you want some nootropics to help make you concentrate a little bit more at work or trying to study harder, nootropics, the way to go. And they got a brand new one, the Focus 2.0. You need to get a awesome pre-workout because work's a drag or you can't wake up in the morning. Take a scoop of that. I would recommend, though, taking a half a scoop. It is that strong. What about you trying to stack up? You get some pre-workout in your life. You get some BCAAs. People ask me all the time, Mitch, how are you never hungover in the morning? It's because every night after I drink, I take a scoop of BCAAs when I go to bed, and I take a scoop when I wake up. Easiest way to stay hydrated. That way you don't wake up with cotton mouth in the middle of the night. If you're trying to lose some extra weight because, I don't know, all you do on Sundays is eat pizza or a whole bunch of bread products to soak up all the alcohol during a Raiders sport, Burn is a great way to burn some extra fat. And Panda Subs just released some new t-shirts and hoodies as well. You can get all of that at pandasubs.com. Use code Raiders for 30% off. I'm going to be nice enough and put that in the description and in the comment section of today's video. Let's go to more questions here. Mike Jones. Would the Raiders draft Hendon Hooker? Who? Mike Jones? What's it? 281-330-8004? Mike Jones. So, Hendon Hooker, could they do it? Sure. Like, Hendon Hooker to me, though, is not going to be somebody you draft in the first round. If you can get somebody like a Will Anderson, or if you trade back and get extra picks in the first round and end up taking Hendon Hooker second round, maybe he falls a little bit later. I mean, that could be an option. Or you could take somebody like Tom Brady in free agency, get somebody like Jimmy Garoppolo in free agency. Maybe Derek decides to take a pay cut to stay on the Raiders, and then you have Hendon Hooker learn behind one of those guys. Like, to me, that is a better way of going about this offseason and taking a quarterback than just taking CJ Stroud or Bryce Young at number 2. You have a lot more holes to fill than just quarterback. We know that. So I actually like this question, Chug. Shout out to you. We've talked a lot about Bryce Young on this show this year already. And Hendon Hooker, what's the better value? Is it Hooker in the second, giggity, or is it Bryce Young in round 1? I'm curious what you guys have to say about that question there. Let's go to Daniel Caps Keenan. What up, brother? What do you think about Stephen A. Smith about Mark Davis? This season has gone so bad that even Stephen A. Smith is saying things that I agree with about the Raiders. That's how bad it is. Like, if you haven't seen it yet, go on social media, type in Stephen A. Smith and the Raiders, but it's the truth. And that's how bad this season has been. Stephen A. Smith is talking the truth about the Raiders. That makes me sick. Let's go to Ira again. No flag in the yard, but do have a license plate holder with the Raiders. That's something, I guess. Anytime that you're willing to rep this team, even when they're 2-7, like, people make fun of me where I live because there's like a bunch of valet guys that live at my apartment complex. So when I leave every single day, they always laugh at me because I'm always wearing Raider stuff. And they're like, dude, you're repping this team. Like, you're a diehard. I'm like, yeah, I'm absolutely a diehard. I also do it for work, which they don't really know. They probably just see this guy wearing Raider stuff literally every single day to work. But you know what? And they're like, yeah, what the hell does this guy do? But that's what it's about. Being a Raider fan isn't about just showing up on Sundays. It's about being there every single day. Being a Raider fan is a full-time job. It is. And there's no off days either. Let's go to Steven. Not a fan of him, but Stephen A. was spot on Davis. Yeah, I don't like Stephen A. I don't think anybody likes Stephen A. I don't even know if ESPN likes Stephen A. But he was right about Mark Davis. Let's go to PG2869. McDaniels equals narrow? Hope that doesn't mean something bad. Raiders! Kimberly Johnson. Hell no. Super Bowl isn't worth Tom Brady, FTB, F the Patriots. Kimberly, I'm sorry. I'm gonna disagree. I'm not saying anything. As long as it's not illegal, it's worth the Super Bowl. If you win a playoff game and Tom Brady can get you a Super Bowl, it's worth it. You can hate on Brady all you want. You're telling me right now, if Tom Brady came to the Raiders and they won a Super Bowl, you wouldn't forgive him for the tuck rule. I think you're crazy. Let's go to Javi. All right, Q Carr or rookie quarterback in McDaniels' system, F McDaniels. I don't think it's going to be Carr, and a rookie quarterback in McDaniels' system does scare me. I think the most likely scenario, and I will continue to say this, is if I'm trying to climb inside of McDaniels' mind, which is probably a scary place, you find a quarterback that has been able to run your system before. Luckily, Tom Brady and Jimmy Garoppolo are both free agents next offseason. And then you draft a quarterback to learn behind those guys. You make them on a one-year deal. That's what I would do. That'd be the easiest way to convince a guy like Davante Adams to not leave. Because you get a guy like Tom Brady, Davante Adams ain't leaving. Go to Hammerhouse. Would I bring in Brady? I'd rather shit in my hands and clap. Is that what that is? I would rather bring in Brady. So you're saying that you would rather shit in your hands and then clap than bring in Tom Brady. That's a take. Yeah, it's a take. There's no doubt about that. Let's go to Erica. Hammer, you're a real one. It's mind-blowing how McDaniel said he had no clue what Carr was talking about, and he didn't think that the players weren't giving their all. Here's the unfortunate part. And this is why I wouldn't even watch a press conference anymore. If Mark Davis is going to look there and say that they're doing a fantastic job, if Dave Ziegler 2 weeks ago is going to say that he thinks everything is going great for the Raiders, and then McDaniels is going to say literally nothing. He sounds like somebody who just did not prepare for a high school presentation, goes up there and tries to bullshit his way through it, just going in loop-de-loop in circles, doesn't say anything, and then you got somebody like Derek Carr who's not going to call out anyone. I'm telling you right now, time is the most valuable thing that you have, and if you spend time watching anything that is on that Raiders YouTube channel right now or on their social media, nobody's going to tell you the truth. It's a bunch of bullshit, and if you believe it, I'm sorry. I also have just an incredible beach estate in the middle of Wyoming. Beachfront property in Wyoming, if anybody wants to buy it. Let's go to Kinda Twisted. Is Carr really not coming back next season? I don't think he is, guys. I don't understand why the Raiders would bring him back. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Now, if he's willing to play on a cheaper deal, that's fine. I've also did some more digging on his contract situation in terms of Derek does have a injury settlement in his contract. So, if my memory serves me correct, it's like he would get $7.5 million plus his base salary. His base salary next season, I want to say, is $34 million or it's $29, and for some reason it's one of those two numbers in my head. I believe it's $34 million, and then he gets an extra $7.5 if he finishes the season injured. So, like, there's going to come a time where the discussion has to be had. Do you just sit Derek Carr and play Jarrett Stidham if it's at the end of the year, you know you're not going to win, just so Derek can't be like, oh, I'm hurt. Now, he still has to pass a physical, and he can't just be like, oh, I'm hurt, and he gets $40 million. But there is a part where you don't want $40 million count against your cap next season. So if you know the season's over, you could see Jarrett Stidham to be playing it safe. So here's the opportunity. You be the GM, okay? You ready? 4 for yes, 0 for no. Will Derek Carr be on the Raiders in 2023? I'm going to sit up here and say no. I can't see it happening. Whether it's right, whether it's wrong, I just think that that's what McDaniels is going to do. So, yeah, no. Let's go to Kenny. What up, Kenny? Raiders, real one for life. Screw McChicken, Graham, and Davis. I'm on board. F them all, man. Ulysses, need another defensive superstar first-round draft like Mac. You need multiple players on that defense. Nate Hobbs, when he comes back, that's going to help you out, obviously. I think Rocky Sin's a good player. I still think Trevon Merrick's a good player, though. He does look very lost right now in Patrick Graham's system. Deron Harmon, we'll see how long he could stick around. If you can't win in the trenches, though, it doesn't matter what you do on the back end. It doesn't. You need more linebacker depth. You need a lot, which is why if I'm the Raiders and I have the number 2 overall pick, there's a part of me that knows that a team is willing to give up a shit ton of draft capital to either get a Bryce Young or to either get a CJ Stroud. And if I'm the Raiders and I'm going to be doing this offseason, I'm going to be pushing the narrative that the Raiders should draft a quarterback. That way an NFL GM actually thinks that, hey, they could actually draft a quarterback, give you even more picks, and then that helps you rebuild your team. The important part is, though, you actually got to hit on those first-round picks for once. Kimberly, been a Raider fan for 34 years. No. Kimberly, I respect your passion. And she's referring to the idea of if Tom Brady won the Raiders a Super Bowl, would she forgive him? Her answer still there is no. I get it. Brady's one of those players that is probably the most hated player if you're a Raiders fan for obvious reasons. The tuck rule has just been an absolute menace in the AFC. To me, though, I try not to live in the past, and if you can bring me a Super Bowl, I'll take the Super Bowl. What up, Cam? To be fair, McDaniels made Mac Jones look good. To me, though, if you made Josh McDaniels the offensive coordinator, you would be a lot better as a team. Josh McDaniels was a good offensive coordinator. My thing has never been against McDaniels not being able to run an offense. It's McDaniels not being able to run a team, and that's a big difference. I do think that McDaniels could be a good offensive coordinator for this team. I really, really do. He can't be a good head coach, though. You have to be able to lead guys. It's not just when you're a head coach, there's a lot more than just drawing up plays. It's being able to handle the team. McDaniels did help Mac Jones look good. He did. So did Bill Belichick, though. Belichick helped out that process, too. So, guys, if you want, interact with me on social media. Mitchell Renz 365 is where I am literally everywhere. I do an extra live show over on Locals, exclusive videos over there. So, please, Raidersport.locals.com. I try to put out a lot of content. I've been putting out more videos on Instagram to just show you all a little bit more in the day of the life of what it's like here at Chat Sports. Extra videos, more content. I want to just stay in tabs with you, man. And that's really what it's about. Keep you guys up to date no matter where it is. So seriously, if you haven't already, hit me up. I also post a lot of news here before I do it on the show. Why? It's a little easier. All right, more questions here on the Raiders Report, or is that it? Locking them up here on the show. One more from Brian. Why give Carr a contract if you're moving on? It's not giving him a contract. It's adjusting his contract in terms of he's going to make $34 million next year. If you're like, hey, Derek, either you're going to get cut, make nothing, or play for like $7-8 million contract on a backup or a cheaper deal. That's the idea there.